Basically, the major difference is in retention. Today's research tells us that when you read something, an average human being, what he reads, he retains 10% of what he has read. Average human being. What a person hears, what he hears, an average human being, he retains 20% of what he has heard. What a person sees, an average human being retains 30% of what he has seen. What a person hears and sees together, it's called as video. Video is a short form of? Everyone knows video? You know the meaning of video, raise your hand. Who knows the meaning of video? Video you don't know. How did you pass the test? Video, you know video. You don't know. Not the short form. You know, everyone knows. But do we think where it's come from? What is the root word? It's visual and audio. V-I of visual and audio, A-U-D-I-O. So video, it's a coining of new word. Video means visual and audio put together. We are learning Dawa here, but we are learning many things, inshallah. I've been using this word video for 20 years. I did not know it means visual and audio. So, if you see and hear together video, the average human being retains 50% of what he has seen and heard together. So which is better, reading or hearing or seeing? Which is better? Seeing and hearing together, best amongst these three things. This is research. Not done by Muslims, by non-Muslims, but research. If you read the Edgar scale, again research, and that's a new revision in my notes that is there. There's a cone of learning, called a cone of learning. Same thing. What you read. After 2 weeks, you retain 10%. What you read. If someone asks you after 2 weeks, 10% average human being will retain. What you hear, after 2 weeks, you will retain 20%. What you see, after 2 weeks, you retain 30%. What you hear and see, like movies, you will retain 50%. He goes a step further and says that what you say, after 2 weeks, you retain 70%. For example, you have prepared for a speech. Correct? Everyone prepared for the 3-minute speech? If you prepare, you say it. After 2 weeks, I tell you, repeat it. Average human being will only be able to repeat 70%. Some may be able to repeat 100%, average. So what you say, you retain average 70% for 2 weeks. But we are not here to teach you for 2 weeks. We want it to be permanent, inshallah. That's the reason. Repetition, rehearsal. He goes to a level further and says that if you say and enact, like saying means in a group discussion, maybe in a TV talk, saying. But if you enact it, like you do a skit, you enact it, you're saying, seeing, hearing, all put together, the chances you'll retain after 2 weeks is 90%. If you enact it, you know, the people normally have to do a skit. In school, you enact a skit. We're talking about halal, inshallah. If you ask them to enact after 2 weeks, average human being will repeat it 90%, 2 weeks. It doesn't give the scale after 2 weeks. So here we come to know that we use those media in which it will retain in your customers more. If you don't know what is what, many people do dawah, it's effective not knowing what is the pros and cons. So you as a da'i knows technically what is pros and cons, the dawah effect is much more. Now I'm distributing books. He doesn't know what is the difference between book and... I'm doing for sake of Allah. Alhamdulillah, you'll get your sawab. But if you are more effective, you'll get more sawab. Chances of getting more sawab is more. Main is niyyah, main is Allah's help, hard work and technique. This I'm talking about is technique. Allah's help is you have to ask Allah directly. Hard work is your hard work. Third is technique. So each one has its pros and cons. Each media has its own speciality. Pros and cons. How to do writing. You know, we have an organization, script writers. Script writer means their speciality is writing script. If you ask them to speak, out of 100, they may not get 10 also. In writing, they're very good. Some people are good in both. They are script writers. That's a technique. In media, there's specialization of journalism, which is a different ballgame altogether. So in media, when you go, there's specialty of journalism, there's specialty of editing, there's specialty of cameraman, the direction. Everything is a specialty. So these, in short, was talking about the media and its effectiveness. Talking about indirect media, which we shall touch, inshallah. Out of 4, we'll touch a little bit on the audio, video and social media to a greater extent, inshallah. Due to limitation of time. One day for social media is not sufficient. One day for satellite media is not sufficient. In satellite social media, alhamdulillah, we have 250 people employed full-time only for satellite and social media. Full-time paid employees we have got. Only for. We'll discuss that later on. It's a specialty by itself.